flood is a natural disaster that haunts people. Every year they cause destruction everywhere. China is a country that suffers from many disasters from floods. Due to its geographical position, it's also downstream of many major rivers. Today, let's learn about the terrible flood scene in China, causing heavy economic damage through the video below. Flooding in China causes heavy economic damage. A flood is a phenomenon of water in rivers and lakes overflowing high on an area of land. It can occur when water in rivers and lakes overflows the dikes or causes the dikes to break, causing water to overflow into areas protected by dikes. When floods occur, the river water will rise and destroy buildings and houses along the river. Flood damage is incalculable, especially in countries with many large rivers and interlaced river systems. Each year, heavy rain and high river water are the obsession of many countries. In China, a country with 1 billion people, currently ranked second in the world in terms of economy, every year the government, together with the Chinese people, has to deal with more than 10 large and small floods. The most basic cause of flooding that we can see is due to high tides or storms, creating large amounts of water in a short time, overflowing riverbanks, dikes, or breaking flood control structures into low-lying areas. Like a dam, water overflows into residential areas. During the peak months of China's rainy season, rainfall can reach more than 250 millimeters. Heavy and prolonged rain caused by heavy storms is the main cause of flooding in this country. In addition, China is the world's top 1 server in terms of major river systems. The amount of rainwater from the areas pouring in a short time causes the river water to rise. This is the main reason why the plains of China are regularly flooded. There are also a number of other factors that affect the likelihood of large and irregular floods. The wider the area, the slower the floodwater rises, but it will also recede slowly. Conversely, if the basin is narrow and elongated, the floodwater will rise faster. In some cases, it will even form flash floods or pipe floods. At the same time, deforestation is also a cause of floods, flash floods in the mountains, and soil erosion. El Nino and La Nina have also caused various types of floods that will greatly affect China. This is a phenomenon that refers to the anomalous fluctuations in the atmosphere-ocean system, with a timescale between years, cyclical or cylindrical. They cause storms and record rainfall in 24 hours, and months in some places, and increase the variability of rainfall in China. From late May to October is the peak of rainstorms in China. Heavy rains lasting for many days make the whole city seem to fall into darkness. In June, floods affecting mainly the southern regions, affecting the lives of millions of people, especially economic and cultural activities in big cities. In July, heavier than expected rains hit central and eastern China. Provinces in South China and Central China deltas such as Shanghai, Zhejiang and Fujian. They flooded deeply for many days. Many people were forced to relocate to minimize the loss of life. According to statistics, floods affected 63.46 million people, 290 people died or went missing, and 54,000 houses collapsed. Besides, the infrastructure of this country also suffered a lot of damage. Falling trees lead to damage to the power grids and roads. The most precious are the historical and cultural works of thousands of years that were flooded and damaged. According to the flood data in 2020, up to 76 important national cultural relics and 187 provincial cultural heritage have been damaged to varying degrees. The storm has stopped, but the floodwater is still flowing very fast. Their flow speed can reach more than 20 kilometers an hour, a scarily high number. The video shows the terrifying flow of floods in southwestern China's Yunnan province. Rains with a rainfall of 107.3 millimeters for more than 10 hours turned this bustling city into the sea. The flood can wash away both cars and public structures on the road. The muddy black water made the rescue work and moving more difficult than ever. A truly terrifying sight. damage caused by floods is immeasurable. In the video, you're watching the remnants of a flood in Zhengzhou City, China. Dozens of vehicles were left in piles on the highway due to high water levels causing the vehicle to stall. In it, there are brand name cars which are very valuable. In addition, the scene of the road was damaged by a lot of floodwater. Sadly, this flood has killed at least 25 people. This horrific scene in the video is the remnants of a historic flood in central China. Thousands of cars stalled and were swept away by the water, gathered in a pile right on the highway. Their owners went to look for their cars but were disappointed because some of the cars were so badly damaged by the impact. Relocating as well as solving this congestion also takes a lot of time and money. Not only on the roads, but floods have also wreaked havoc on the new cars in the showroom. On the screen you can see the desolate scene inside a showroom of Toyota, a very famous car brand. Thousands of supercars also suffered from engine stalls and mud after many days of being immersed in flood water. Really, the damage caused by floods cannot be quantified in concrete numbers. This is a panoramic view of the cities of Henan and Zhengzhou, inundated by floods. Looking from above through the flycam, we can see that the water was nearly flooded 1 meter deep, including cars. People and rescue teams have to use steamboats or more powerful shovels to move around without. People and rescue teams have to use steamboats to move around to avoid stalling. The flooding was reported after record-breaking rains flooded the city streets and subways, damaging dams and reservoirs as well as collapsing roads. It also displaced 200,000 people, and more than 3 million people were affected by this flood. Although it has stopped raining, the waves in the sea are still not calm. The flood is a haunting natural disaster for the Chinese people and government. Now they have many solutions to minimize the loss of property and people, but we still witness many painful scenes when the flood occurs. The video comes to an end now. Hopefully it'll give you a lot of interesting knowledge when watching this video. Please quickly click like, share and subscribe to watch more of our discovery videos. Goodbye and see you in the next video.